So here's what we're gonna do. This is Alden, local comedian here in Austin, Texas. What we're gonna do is we're gonna pop in this house. It's my friend Courtney. We're going to hang a picture on our wall. And that'll be our good deed / task for the day.
All right, sounds easy. We'll see.
All right, man.
What's funny about doing these tasks and stuff, my mom used to be the queen of what I would call the infinite list.
Yeah.
And so what she would do is she's like, okay, I need you to do one thing, but I knew that there would be an infinite number of tasks, so I would always say, give me a list of the tasks and I'll do it in the order I see fit, but I want a firm list because then, I can figure out my time and do it efficiently. And her view was, I will never give you a list, and you're just gonna do what I want. But
Big IKEA guy, you pick stuff up from IKEA?
Sure, I mean I could. Like when we were doing stuff with the Creek in the Cave, I put together like 400 chairs.
Oh wow.
I didn't know how to do it, but I was just like, start doing it.
So like a couple weeks from now, we're gonna see an article that says like massive chair malfunction at local comedy.
300 asses sprained.
Okay, do you want to hang the picture?
Yes, we do.
Okay, great. Okay, it'll go here. So you just gotta put a nail in there
Got it.
and then put a picture up.
That's a function of a show I never really considered until recently. Like, you got a little bit of lighting goes a long way. It's like,
Oh, like for the stage?
oh yeah,
I think Santa Cruz does. They've been up in their lighting game.
oh yeah, it's totally dark in there. So I think at first it was sort of off-putting to me because like I'm used to doing a lot of shows outside.
Yeah.
And so I'd just be looking into the void and I'm like, oh man, I'm looking at people's faces. Like, what's going on? Oh, okay. Cool.
It's Vinny.
It's very cute.
But yeah, on the back.
Totally different. There's two of them.
It was kind of goofy whenever people were like, oh, there was no mics before the pandemic and now there's all these mics. It's like, I think there might be slightly more mics than there used to be, but there used to be a decent amount of mics. Like you could probably hit like 3 a night if you wanted to.
But it's like these comics complain about everything. I mean, like, I remember I was helping out with the Sand Jacket host and like a lot of comics came up to me and said, oh, it's just comics here today. Then I had a woman come in from the street and just start heckling the shit out of everybody. And I was like, you guys were complaining that there's nobody here, and now we've got somebody and you don't like it. I told her, let them have it. Just give it to them.
Yeah.
And she really gave it to them for like 5. She ruined 5 or 6 of their sets. So.
Somebody made an offhand remark about you commenting to a heckler, maybe two hecklers, as you threatened some.
Oh yeah, that was so I was really not happy that night. These guys were just going on and on and on, and I started making some inappropriate jokes at their expense, and I just went on and on about it. And Sonny just let me keep going, so I went for like 10 minutes.
Beautiful.
And yeah, that was probably not the way to handle it, but like.
You ever do one of these?
Sometimes. What I've taken to doing is I'll do the pen in the, because I'm often wearing a polo, I'll put it in here. And then I can power that.
You like the clickers?
Oh yeah.
Dude, the first time I ever got a 10-minute set, ever, was at the parlor. And there was a guy in there that was yelling through everybody's set. I'll get nervous sometimes before I go on stage. Dude, I was nervous. I was like, I don't know how to deal with this. There's like a decent crowd of people here. Craig was there, Pergola.
Yeah.
Dude, Craig like said some of the meanest shit I've ever heard somebody say to another human being, and the guy still kept going.
Oh yeah.
They ended up like walking him out, and then right before I went on, he came back in, they walked him back out, they knocked over a bunch of chairs. The last piece to that story is I went to a bar months later, and that guy was there.
Nice.
And he was telling jokes in the bar to people, and nobody was listening to him.
Seems like a big nail. I don't know.
I think that'll be fine there. We got that. This is a very delicate hammer.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna take a lot. We're gonna have to really choke up on this thing to get it to hammer.
Now you can debate me on this. Positivity is rarely funny.
That's true.
Okay, so no debate there. Are you gonna measure from one side to the other? To
Well,
make sure it's in the...
For me, I like the, I mean, this is just me, but I like the eyeball, but of course, you know, you are the one who has to live with it, so you get to decide.
I mean, that looks centered, it just doesn't look level.
Doesn't look level.
Because Brian's holding it.
Does it have?
Tell me, just like, let me know when to stop.
Well, really though, the thing is, when we put the nail in, it will level itself automatically.
Oh.
Okay.
This is like, we're gonna put a little there.
Okay.
So like the nail should go in like right here, basically. I'm walking by this wishing well with my girlfriend. She wants to make a wish, so I have a dime. But then I realized that the well doesn't know the denomination of the coin. So really I should get change, you know, for it. And so we can each throw a penny in and I'll have 8 cents left. You know, if I had some kind of good. You know, I have this theory that like, if you think of the time it takes to get to the first punch, so like, let's say it takes you 20 seconds of setup, and then you get like one, I'll just use like an economics idea, like one, you know, utility point of joke, like laughter or whatever.
Yeah.
So then if you extend that out to 40 minutes of setup, you would think it's you need a joke that's twice as funny. Well, no, it actually is exponential in my view. It has to be like 4 times as funny. Then if you use up a whole minute, it's really got to be like 16 times as funny.
Whoa.
So like, that's just kind of a theory, I think. So like, at a certain point, if you've used up so much time, to me, the joke has to be so funny that it's like, you know, it's like approaching infinity. It just can't be done. Like, so I feel like you have to either punctuate it with smaller jokes and then build up to that final one. If I have the grip strength, those are the problem.
Yeah, you gotta really, it's Ninja Warrior type stuff, dude.
It sort of actually matches this hammer here. Maybe
Oh, I got it.
My eye says that looks pretty level.
According to that thing, it is level. It's in the middle.
But it's
Yeah.
level. It's level to the planet, but if the house is on it,
Look what your friends did!
well, I've been running into that lately. So as I've been doing more comedy, I'm of course adding more friends that are comedians to my, you know, news feed and my Facebook and Instagram. And so I'll get on there and I'll be like, oh my gosh, I'm not on this show, I'm not on this show, I'm not on this show. And I gotta stop doing that because like I'll start getting FOMO. Where before I was just like, man, I'm so happy to be able to do comedy at any level. But now I'm like, oh man, I didn't get booked on blah blah blah. And it's like, that's productive. Like, you know.
This is a good thing for if any comedians end up watching this. Don't worry about what shows you're not on.
Right.
Like you have to focus on yourself, and that's the only thing you can control. And like I was just talking about this the other day with somebody. Is like one of the traps of I'm sure you've had a conversation with a comedian, not anybody specific, because I've heard it from multiple people, where they go, I'm really funny, and these people that aren't as funny as me are getting booked on more shows.
Oh, that's like a tale as old as time with the comedy. But
so here's the question: if you're funnier than other people, and you're not getting booked, then you have to ask, okay, maybe that's true, but then why? Then you have to ask why, like the real question. And there's not a conspiracy against anybody, because nobody's that good.
well, most people's conclusion is that everyone hates me, you know. But
yeah,
what I've realized is I really sat down and thought about it.
And we do.
Like,
I'm just kidding.
Be like, listen, that's true.
Yeah.
No.
You know?
Well, like, you know, as a person booking a show, you want to have variety. You know, you want to put somebody on there you know is capable, but like, you don't want to just put the same people on over and over again. It's just boring.
Well, and the other thing too, the worst thing is being like a non-self-aware comic where you think you're funnier than you are, and then you finally get a show and you go up and you do very poorly, because then you have a bad attitude and you don't make people laugh. So it's like, I would say, if you feel that, my like, whenever I start to go down that road in my brain, I force myself on a different road of, okay, that means I just got to work harder on getting funnier.
Oh yeah.
And if you're focused on that, you're not as focused on shows. You think at any point when they made Ninja Turtles, they, like the first draft, they didn't make their legs longer than a normal turtle?
They were just like barely sticking out of the shell. And they're like gonna hold a sword like that. I would say I wasn't sure what we were getting into, and I think we nailed it. and then we did really well.
We painted it. The nail was mostly Alden, so I mean,
The pink hammer helped, you know.
yeah, it's good. You don't want the hammer to be too big.
Don't want to nail with my finger, you know.
Courtney, how do you feel about the picture and the holes?
I'm
Good.
very satisfied with the work thus far.
Yes.
Good job, guys.
We did it.
Success.
Good job, Ian.
Success feels good.